We're starting to hit what you could only describe as a student housing nightmare. Now, it's in various places, particularly it's in Ontario, to a lesser extent British Columbia, a tiny bit in Alberta. But in Ontario, it's an absolute nightmare, a catastrophe, a disaster. You know how you can tell it's a disaster? Because the student landlords, are starting to ask for bailout. Yeah, I'm not kidding. These guys are saying, "Hey, we need to get these students back. Start ripping them off again. Start the community colleges get busy again. Start to issue the foreign student visas. We need foreign students to rip off," says these landlords. Like, I'm not actually joking. I'm not even joking. That's what the newest stories are, the newest posts, it's in the newspaper. It'll probably be in the television soon, but it's all over social media. "Bring back foreign students to save my life," says student housing landlord bastards. Okay. All right. Yes, it's crazy, but let's break it down because it's very big. Okay, it's not a huge number of houses in the whole totality of Canada. That's the thing you got to remember. The foreign students only came to certain places. A few went to Moncton, a few went to Newfoundland, but most of them, over the course of 2 years, about 600,000 of them came to Ontario. And they needed places to stay. Because here's the interesting thing about a rip-off, dirty, horrible, just should all be arrested community college people, the people who owned and operated, because community college is a weird thing. The province runs the education side of it, but the actual physical side of it, the locations, the buildings, and to a certain extent are private enterprise, okay? So those private enterprise guys were just in the business of ripping off foreign students, just destroying them, stealing for their money for 2 years. Okay, but 2 years, it was huge. So because they're a bunch of crooks, basically, the community college operators should really be investigated, arrested, charged, and tried, and hopefully convicted. But that'll never happen. This is Canada. So there was not one single bed for student housing added for this enormous 600,000 students that came over the course of 2 years, 2.5 years. And naturally, that was all the community colleges' plan because they were just ripping them off anyway. Ripping them off for huge tuitions, for garbage degrees, and then on the pretext, on the story, they were going to get citizenship. So what happens? The government finally wakes up. Yeah, takes years, always, but the government wakes up and says, "Oh, I think we're going to lose this election if we keep bringing all these students in, so we got to cut off the students. So we got to go down 92%, 94% or something. Just drop it all down. Shut down all this community college stuff. Tell all the students they got to go home. Some of them, of course, file for refugee status, but just send them home. Just send them home." So because the community colleges gave no housing to anybody, there had to be student housing landlords provide all the housing. Now, the very epicenter of this is a city called Brampton in Ontario. And because of a large number of the students coming in were from the Punjab, and there were lots of Punjabi people living already well-established for decades in Brampton, that was where a lot of them came to stay. And those people who were there already jumped on this idea of, okay, I can buy any size house, even though the price is sky high in 21, part of 22. I can buy any size house, and I can rent it out because I'm filling it up with 14 people. I'm going to put 14 people in a 2,800 square foot home. Who cares? We'll just stack them up. That's it. And they did. And $800 a month for 14 people is nearly $12,000 a year, $12,000 a month, or $144,000 a year in income. So the mortgage is running, plus the property taxes is running, say around, I don't know, between $55,000 and $6,000, maybe a little more, $6,200. And then, of course, all the students disappear. And because the government changes its deal, no more student visas are being issued. No more students can come. The ones that are here have to go. Then that's it. You got to go. So the houses started to empty out. they're reaching the point now where they've been empty for a little while. Okay. That's where we're at. And so if you can't get this $11,500, $12,000 a month, which is very lucrative. I mean, yeah, you might have wondered whether you could do it forever when you bought the house. Will this be the policy forever, jillion students a year? Okay, but no, but it's not, and it isn't, and it didn't happen. So now they're in trouble because you could maybe get $4,500 or $5,000 for that house a month, but it's a permanent loss. And what if you borrowed from the HELOC on your own home? You did borrowing on your own home to get the down payment on this home, okay, that you bought for the student rental. So then you've got payments you got to make there that used to be offset by the students. You got payments on the mortgage and property tax on the place that has no students anymore. So you're getting killed. And possibly, I'm just throwing it out there, possibly you used fake income documents to qualify to allow you to purchase this 2,800 square foot home for $2.4 million. Okay. Maybe. Some did. For sure, some did. Okay. So now they don't really have enough income to run the rental. They over leveraged on their existing home to get the down payment out of their existing home. And now the entire economics of it all are completely out of kilter. They're negative maybe $1,500 to $2,500 a month. And they can't really afford that. Like they were just, they were making money. They were making $5,000, $6,000 a month when the students were there, but now that's all gone. And then they ran with it for a while, or maybe they bought another one. I don't know. Okay. But I'm just saying their base income and their ability to get those houses rented to families is not easy and not effortless and has bumps. And now they're in big trouble. I would tell you that the most, when houses go to foreclosure and power of sale in Brampton, those are some of the biggest price drops I have seen. Like there's lots of 35% off purchase price. So that means the mortgage holder's probably losing as well. And I think we're going to hit 40% off. I think we've seen a couple of 40% off prices. Like, in other words, 2 million goes to 1.2. And I think we'll see some more. So it's a very, very, very bad situation for the people who are in it. I'm not really going to worry about them too much. But most importantly, it's a spiral. It's a spiral downwards, because once that price hits, the low price hits, the next one has got to go for the low price. So it's a spiral downwards, and we'll see more of it.